The Niger Delta Development Commission has given assurances to member states that it will complete priority projects as chosen by the state government. For Cross River State in the South-South region, a priority project being considered by the state is the dualization of roads leading to the Bakassi Seaport. This was the deal struck with the commission when members of the governing board visited Governor Ben Ayade at the Government House in Calabar, the state capital.
The unique location of Cross River State on Nigeria's Atlantic coast makes it an ideal hub for import and export of commodities. Towards realizing this maritime potential, the state government has begun the construction of the Bakassi Seaport. At the moment, the main access to the site of the port under construction is through the river. This is simply inadequate if the deep sea port under construction is to realize its full potential.
The access road from Calabar to the Bakassi Deep Sea Port, which is about 14.5 kilometers, is a very huge swamp, which will be the most difficult in terms of engineering and construction. And I'm happy to announce today that NDDC has confirmed that they will send a team of engineers to review the designs we have made, with a view to taking over that component of the job and help us deliver on that.
We agreed with the state government that would go ahead and establish a team that would work together, get the design, and immediately embark on the construction of a dualized road.
Apparently, the governor's request for an access road to the deep sea port is not a strange one to the NDDC. In fact, it is part of the reason for their visit.
We, as a commission, are willing to partner with the state on the access to the port, and we're going to work the details later. By the next week or so, the managing director will be sending a team to sit down with the state, Cross River State government to work out the details.
At the moment, the deep sea port is at the initial level of construction, but the project holds a lot of promise and potential if the stakeholders fulfill their obligations of providing the necessary infrastructure and support.
Well, let's talk politics now. There's been another rousing support for the Willie Obiano government, as physically challenged members of the state have collectively endorsed him to continue in office. They laud the Obiano administration for continuing to cater for their needs.
There are several causes of disability. It could be from natural causes, birthing challenges, accidents, or even illnesses. But the challenges experienced by these group of people often threaten a slip into depressive state if adequate measures are not taken. However, the opposite seems to be the case for the disabled in Anambra State, and according to them, it's been thanks to the Obiano government.
Well done, well done. I am really thrilled and overwhelmed that people who were at the mercy of others or sit on the wheelchair will now be able to move around on their own, unaided.
Yeah.
What a wonderful God we have.
Yeah.
So, for representing us and making Anambra proud and flying our flag in Rio, Brazil, you have a purse of 1 million naira. And because you work with us here in the ministry, you are being promoted immediately. Thank you.
Now they have come together to pledge their support to the governor in the upcoming elections. According to them, the administration has been an all-inclusive one, which has given a sense of belonging to even the physically challenged in the state.
Apokwenike decided to empower and has continued to empower entrepreneurs with disability that are involved in different economic ventures for their own family. The economic cohesion of their families have not been the same since Apokwenike came on board.
November the 18th remains the set date for the governorship election in the state, and all the candidates continue to garner support from various parts of the state. At the end of the day, it is the electorate who will have the final say on who carries the day.
Lawmakers investigating the state of health institutions have found out the monies meant for outsourced services and tertiary hospitals from 2016 till date were not released by the federal government. This and other funding concerns have led to recent strikes, prompting the House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions to pay a visit to hospitals for a first-hand look at facilities. And their latest stop is the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Our correspondent Mary Alale Yusuf reports.
The House Committee on Health Institutions arrives at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital and is received by the CMD and his team. After pleasantries are exchanged, they get down to discussions on budgeting challenges in the hospital. Unpaid salaries, uncompleted buildings and residency training are some of the projects the committee wants to handle by bringing teaching hospitals under the Tertiary Education Trust Fund because of their status as training institutions.
The money meant for outsourced services for 2016 was not released, but we are trying to get the Ministry of Finance and the DG budget is to take out these monies from the sundry account or the service-wide goods and put them in the individual institutions.
Zero-based budgeting doesn't allow for growth at all. So as I'm speaking to you, I need another 50 rooms, consultation rooms. There are needs to revamp the institution which has been in use continuously for 55 years.
Nurses and matrons, one of the greatest.
A visit to the biomedical engineering unit, where students from medical institutions around the country are instructed in repair of medical equipment, leadership and communication, cheers the visitors up, as well as a trip to the newly revamped modular theatre.
An institution like this, what are you going to do with 130 million in the first instance? Then when you now reduce it to 40, 60 million, I mean, it just doesn't add up. So that's why, as a house, we think that we need to look for outside funding, bulk funding, to support the health institutions.
Next is a visit to the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, for more discussions.
So how have you been paying your cleaners?
They asked us to send to them the amount being owed for salary arrears.
A bill to regulate residency training has passed third reading in the House of Representatives and is to be considered in the Senate. Members of the House Committee expect speedy passage so that complaints of inadequate training will end. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Let's go to Ogun State now, southwest Nigeria, where owners of small and medium-scale enterprises have over 580 million naira, and that's the latest disbursement figures were given by the State Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Mr. Bimbo Ashiru, during a meeting with lawmakers from the House of Assembly. He says more than 111 different corporate groups have benefited from the state SME scheme.
About 580 million naira have been disbursed to date. And I'm talking about revolving loans, and at the interest of 7% per annum, they have 6 months moratorium. So far, so good. This has actually boosted the job creation in the state. It's created over 100,000 direct and indirect jobs in the last 6 years. And to date, about 75% of the FDI that came into this country actually domiciled in Ogun State. They have, these are the issues that they're now raising and to ensure that by the time the next report for each of the business is coming out, because this is something Mr. President is very passionate about. Ogun State, we want to ensure that, yes, we're number 36 when we came in 2010. We've been able to move to one of the best 5. We want to maintain that we are actually going to be one of the best 3 in this country.